The world of international politics is full of intrigue and secrecy. Powerful nations vie left and right to gain dominance on the global stage. But what happens when some of the most confidential documents of these powerful nations are leaked? What happens when their hidden plans are exposed? That is exactly what has happened recently. A set of top-secret files have been exposed, revealing US and NATO plans to aid Ukraine in their conflict against Russia. So, join us in this video as we peel back the layers of this recent leak and look into the explosive revelations contained within these confidential files. Well, it seems like we have a real-life spy thriller on our hands. So what really happened was that dozens of highly classified US documents were recently leaked and circulated online. But where did they come from? The documents first appeared in early March as screenshots posted on Discord. It was not until a few days later that more of them appeared. And if you don't know what Discord is, it is a social media platform popular with gamers. Yes, you heard that right, gamers. The gamers kept forwarding these documents to several discussion channels. These channels are not typically known for politics or military intelligence. One of them is dedicated to players of the computer game Minecraft, while another is for fans of a Filipino YouTube celebrity. Now, Pentagon wanted to track the original source where the leak started, but one of the users on this chat group claims to have taken the images from another channel on Discord, which has since been deleted. This makes it impossible to verify the original source of these files. But the blunder did not stop there. These documents remained largely undetected on Discord for a while before spreading to other platforms in early April. They even made their way to the notorious message board 4chan, where anonymous users shared them during an argument about the number of casualties in the conflict. And before the Pentagon knew it, the documents had made their way to pro-Kremlin Telegram channels. And as expected, they fell into the hands of prominent military bloggers. Russian channels also edited one of the images to reduce the number of Russian troops killed and inflate the Ukrainian losses. By 7th of April, these confidential documents were circulating on some of the major social media platforms like Twitter and Reddit, creating a fuss among the public. The leaked documents caused quite a stir, and it is no surprise that the Pentagon is now trying hard to find the source of the leak. But why are people so worked up about these confidential documents? Were they really that important? In short, yes. The documents contain classified information that was not meant to be seen by Russia or other countries outside of NATO and the US. Why? Because in these documents, the complete details were mentioned of how the US and NATO would help Ukraine to take Russia out of the game. Now, you must be going crazy to learn what was in these documents, right? Let us show you. There were 10 major details mentioned in the leaked documents. Let's go over them one by one. Number 10. This part of the documents gave us a sneak peek into the training schedules of 12 Ukraine combat brigades. And guess what? 9 of these were being trained by US and NATO forces. And there is more. These brigades required over 350 mechanized vehicles and 250 tanks. And what is interesting is that any delays in equipment delivery would have affected their training and readiness, and hence their timeline. Number 9. And get this. Another document revealed that 6 out of the 9 brigades being built by the US and Ukraine would be ready by March 31st. The document also mentioned that the remaining 3 will get ready by the end of April. Can you believe the short time span? Also, this document mentioned that each US-built bridge has around 4,000 to 5,000 soldiers. Number 8. These documents also got some juicy details about the expenditure rates for munitions under Ukraine's military control. And get this, it includes the HIMARS rocket systems, the US-made artillery rocket system that has proven to be a real thorn in the side of the Russian forces. What is even more interesting is that the Pentagon has been keeping its lips sealed about how fast the Ukrainian troops are using these advanced rocket systems. But now that the documents have spilled the beans, we know about the top secret it was holding back. Number 7. Oh, and you won't believe what else was in these documents. They had charts, tables, and all sorts of detailed information about weapons deliveries, battalion strengths, and other super sensitive intel. It is the kind of stuff that could give the Russians a serious leg up in any potential conflict. Now that they have got their hands on all that information, they could use it to plan their own attacks, figure out where Ukrainian troops are weakest, and basically have a huge advantage in any fighting that goes down. It is no wonder the Pentagon is freaking out and trying to track down the source of the leak. Number 6. One interesting fact to note is that the leaked documents did not reveal any specific war plans or strategies, leaving the Russian military in the dark about Ukraine's intentions. Even though the documents contain sensitive information about training, equipment, and expenditures, they do not provide insight into any imminent military action by Ukraine. This could be a strategic move by Ukraine to prevent any preemptive attacks by Russia, or to keep their plans confidential until they are ready to strike. Number 5. Now, as you know, the documents are 5 weeks old. They draw a snapshot of what the Americans and Ukrainians were thinking as of March 1st. It is like a time capsule of military planning. Keep in mind, these documents reflect what they thought the Ukrainian troops would need for their campaign. But a lot can happen in 5 weeks, right? It makes you wonder how things have changed since then. Number 4. There's also a catch in this leak. Some analysts have pointed out that a few of the documents might be released by Russian sources. It is possible that they have tampered with the documents to push the Kremlin's disinformation agenda. We all know how the game goes, and it is no secret that Russia has been using disinformation tactics to undermine its adversaries for a long time. So it is wise to take everything with a grain of salt and do our own fact-checking before we make any conclusions based on the leaked documents. Number 3. One of the slides in the leaked documents indicated that Ukrainian military casualties stood at around 71,500, while Russian forces had lost between 16,000 and 17,500 soldiers. However, these numbers seem to differ significantly from estimates made by the Pentagon and other analysts. According to them, Russia's losses are closer to 200,000 killed and injured, whereas Ukraine has suffered over 100,000 casualties. It is still unclear why there is such a discrepancy between the numbers, but there is a possibility that the figures in the leaked documents may not be entirely accurate. Number 2. Now, there is one other shocking revelation. Apparently, there was a document that was labeled top secret. It offered a status of the conflict as of 1st of March. Unfortunately, the details of this document were not released, but it seems like it contains some of the most sensitive information. Who knows what was in there? Plans for a surprise attack? Top secret troop movements? Honestly, the possibilities are endless. Well, it is safe to say that if this document fell into the wrong hands, it could have major consequences for the conflict. Number 1. One of the leaked documents also includes columns that provide details about Ukrainian troop units, their equipment, and training. The document even has schedules for January through April. It is a goldmine of information for the Russian military, giving them insights into the strengths and weaknesses of the Ukrainian troops. Ukraine has hit back at reports in a US newspaper that claim to reveal classified information about the country's preparations for a counteroffensive against Russia. In response, Ukrainian Presidential Office advisor Mikhailo Podolyak dismissed the reports. He called them fake, claiming that Moscow was behind the disinformation campaign. He claimed that Moscow wanted to disrupt Ukraine's counteroffensive plans. Podolyak also tweeted that the intelligence services can only rehabilitate themselves with fake information dumps and Photoshop. Podolyak also promised that Ukraine's plans would soon be seen on the ground, despite Moscow's attempts to disrupt them. So it looks like Ukraine is ready to stand up to Russia and show the world what it is made of. So now let's talk about Russia's response to these leaked documents. At first, pro-Kremlin Telegram channels were quick to share the screenshots without questioning their authenticity too much. But soon after, some more prominent channels and media outlets started to suggest that the documents might be at least partly fake. One expert even went as far as to suggest that the leak could be a deliberate ploy to distract from an oncoming Ukrainian counteroffensive. At the same time, on state television, the host of a talk show called 60 Minutes had another theory. He accused the West of trying to paint Ukraine as weak and helpless by leaking their own documents. According to him, it is all a big drama. It is hard to say for sure whether the documents were genuine or not, but it is clear that both sides are using them to push their own narratives. And as always, with these kinds of things, it is important to approach the information with a critical eye and not jump to conclusions too quickly. What do you think? Do you believe the documents are real, or do you think they are part of a larger disinformation campaign? Let us know in the comments below.